back. Like I said, managed to get the scoreboard set up for you there. And we'll be moving right into game number 2 in just a second. What do you think Brew's going to do to come back from that loss in game 1?
I think honestly they made the right picks. Now it's all going to come down to this pick and ban phase at the beginning, but the strategy they had, they played incredibly well. They invested in these team fights, and all the way up until late game, they were dominating those team fights. So honestly, if they just double down on what they've been doing and just maybe do it 10% better, they could be walking away from this 1-1.
Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting to see how that changes. Like I've said a couple of games before, um, I'm always really interested to see the bans and picks in the second game to see how that changes people's attitudes in viewing. See, oh dear, we lost to, let's say, some really good Kennen abilities. So is Kennen going to get banned out? In fact, I'd imagine that's what's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're just getting everyone kind of shuffled in there, and we will be ready to go in a second. All right, excellent. Yeah, thank you for your patience here, folks. Just getting coordinated. I think the teams are trying to get some last-minute strategy in. Just coordinate, because of course now they have to actually think about their bans, when before they only had 2 bans to think of. This time, brawlers have a couple more. And it looks as though both teams are ready. So, hope. Oh, they're just organizing themselves based on their roles. Awesome. Always nice to see when they do that. Makes it a little easier for us. All right, and now we are moving in to the next set. Let's see how these bans go.
Now I'm angry.
All right, more of those targeted bans coming out right away with the Alistar taken out.
Yeah, I think that's a player ban there. That's super targeted.
Really interested to actually see what kind of bans come out. Here we go. Yep, and they're taking those stuns away right away. I bet you we're gonna see Kennen in the next 2.
Sharpening my
Perhaps. We'll see. It's a similar ban that came across already.
Yeah, take the land and staying with what they know worked last time. Taking out the Alistar, taking out the Xayah.
I won't be denied.
Sejuani, there we go. Let's just ban the entire team from the first game and see how that works out for you, Brew.
Hey, stranger things have happened. It could work. If you are that confident in your strategy and you think you could have successfully completed it against any other lineup, yeah, you ban the team.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I'm not necessarily criticizing. Ooh, they actually take out the Ezreal there. Don't want to see that. Because, I mean, obviously, Brucey did very well with the Ezreal in game 1. Ooh,
it was one of the stronger picks for them.
They let the Kennen through. Interesting. Let's see if it gets taken advantage of by them or not.
We'll just have to see if they go with the top pick and invest in that top pick in the first 3 picks. It's very risky.
Yeah, definitely. And now Kane gets picked up by Take the Lantern instead of Brew City. So Kane definitely making a strong showing today. He had some good moments earlier, and we'll see how it works in different players' hands this time. And Lucian coming out of Brawlers. And the cannon stopped the pick.
That is a dangerous combination right there.
It's a hilarious
amount of burst
combination
damage.
for me. We see once again picks working as bans as well, because now they're keeping the cannon out of gotta get Lucky's hands by stealing them for themselves. So that's interesting to see, you know. But now gotta get Lucky gets his Malzahar instead.
Oh yeah. And the Braum pick, he was a very good pick in the early to mid game. I think he just wasn't able to get the positioning in the last game, so it's a strong pick. It's a very strong pick.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, for those of you just tuning in or may not have noticed, the teams did switch sides. So it is a different person playing the Braum this time, and the Kayn as well. And the Xerath as well, for that. Oh, no, Xerath's the same. So they're definitely happy with how the Xerath worked out. And he did manage to get a lot of damage out there. Here's hoping he has a slightly easier time in the mid lane against a new magic user.
A whole lot of last game leaking into this game.
Yeah, definitely. Sad to see the Vel'Koz go, but of course he has been very powerful in the LCUS so far.
I must not
Yeah, you're a big fan of him, aren't you?
Yes, definitely. I've played him support and mid. Always good to do some disintegration.
Oh, Leona band coming across. They're wanting to prevent a lot of that CC chain tomfoolery that happened last time.
Yeah, definitely. And a Ziggs taken out, so trying to protect the Xerath a little bit there with these last two bans.
Fear is wise.
I would not have guessed an Udyr ban. Udyr and Zig bans coming across, so that lightning quick bans, but I would not have seen an Udyr. I don't see how he played very well in either comp. It might have been a targeted ban there.
Yeah, it could have been. It could also just be trying to prevent some of those stacking stun abilities. Since Udyr is really good at running in and just punching somebody they don't want to be moving for a second or two, and that could help lock them down for the Kennen, for the Xerath. Morgana, now that we see that's a pick, of course they didn't know that before, but any other sort of snare.
Yeah, her and Kennen are going to be major. Just the CC for days. Oh, we could see a Zac pick.
And we do. All right, this is a very interesting. These are both very interesting teams. I've got to say, I am enjoying these lineups quite a bit.
This team fight comp that team Bruce City Brawlers is running, it's going to be very interesting if they can get the engage correct. But the pick potential with a Kayn, a Draven, and a Twist of Fate and a Malzahar, I mean, you couldn't ask for more lockdown when it comes to if I catch you, you're not walking away.
Yeah, this is insane. Bruce City Brawlers is really going to have to make sure that they are rotating correctly and or have good enough ward coverage to know where at least two of those three characters are at all times. Mostly just the Malzahar and the Draven, because of course Twisted Fate can teleport wherever you want. But it's going to be rough if you're wandering around the jungle alone. Hopefully the Zac knows when to stay out and go in.
Yes, an interesting call made in the chat. One tank on both teams. Good point, Oceanic Abyss. This does seem like these team fights are going to be incredibly quick compared to what we're used to.
Yeah, definitely going to be a little squishier than what we've been expecting in the past, especially considering last game with quite a lot of tanks for Take the Lantern. The one tank will definitely, of course, on both sides, will definitely make the Kennen a lot stronger, Xerath a lot stronger, Lucian a lot stronger, but of course also Twisted Fate, be able to blow up people in one or two spells. Draven, if he manages to go off, he's going to be insane. So this could be a pretty quick game too, all things considered.
Most definitely. And with these tanks that we're running, a Zac into a Braum, both of these are engage heavy frontliners. So Zac's going to want to dive in, get that early engage, and get those picks and that CC chain going. Where Braum, he's going to be able to initiate with that ultimate, get those stacks going. So this could be very exciting. I mean, it's going to be who throws the first punch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of it also is going to come down to positioning as well, because they do have, with all of these tanks not really showing themselves in this particular game, your backline becomes not necessarily all the more vulnerable, but all that more easy to engage on. So if the Twisted Fate manages to get behind and say pick off the Xerath, that could be huge if in engaged fights.
Oh yeah, and if they are able to take care of that back line, get there to the Xerath and the Lucian, it's going to be difficult for a Zac, a Morgana, and a Kennen to clean up a team fight. Mm-hmm. So you really have to manage that. So personal opinion, I do think the Bruce City Brawlers have made an incredible team comp. in terms of like their team fight ability. But unless they're together, it's not going to be a fight. If this is a 4v4, I would not give it to them. A 3v3, I would not give it to them. They have to have all 5 keys for this to work.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially looking at the team. You've got Draven, Twisted Fate, and Kane are all really good at closing out kills. If you're someone who's running away from them, you're most likely going to die. Where there's very little in that sense coming out of Brew City in this particular fight. I mean, Xerath, of course, can snipe you from long range, but other than that, there's not really anyone who's really going to be bad chasing you, except for maybe Kennen getting some stuns, and even then. So we'll have to see how it plays out.
Well, Brew City's going to be able to end a team fight in seconds. If they land that Kennen ult, if Morgana gets her ult and throws a Q, Zeroth with his stun and his ability to deal that AoE damage, the team fight will not exist if they get the first punch. But they have to land it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Malzahar, it's really going to come down on Malzahar and Twisted Fate to make sure they get their lockdown abilities quickly on the correct targets. It's going to be all about prioritizing again, which is what, ironically, Brawlers was dealing with in the first game.
Yeah, and there is a weird potential on Team Take the Lantern. I don't know if we'll see this. I'm thinking that we could see Malzahar in the mid lane, but he could go top.
I'm reasonably certain he's going to go top. Got to get lucky he's a top lane player, and he does enjoy his Malzahar top, I have been told. But we will have to see how it goes for locking into this final game. Didn't get too much of the skin analysis there, but I do like the Underworld Twisted Fate.
One of his better ones. Oh wow! But we do have this ho 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 bot lane with Braum and Draven. Oh, I'm festive all of a sudden. Deck the lanes with Boughs of Holly.
All right, we have the lanes organized here. Kennen going top. I think we can also say the Malzahar is top just because Take the Lantern was very nice to line themselves up in lane position.
This could be the greatest con of all time. I'm telling you.
It could be. I mean, I'm giving them all these nice compliments, and now they're going to come and be mean to me. It's just not very nice. But we will have to see.
Well, it does provide the opportunity for a lane swap if things get dire. So that's something to always keep on the table.
Yeah, most definitely. Looks like we'll not have as exciting of an opening few minutes as we did in the last game, with no sort of in-depth engage, everyone being comfortable staying in their particular houses.
Well, I'm glad. I don't think my heart could have taken it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It would have been, I think it's probably because it would have been a big detriment to either team if they got caught out again. A lot of snare possibility, a lot of stun possibility. So everyone just being very casual, being very calm, taking their respective jungles and going to their respective lanes.
While we are waiting, let's check in with chat. There is a request for a Grinch Zac skin that had never occurred to me, but that's going to get the idea of the night from Sigtal Lord. And interesting note, 3 stopwatches were taken here at this opening matchup. So, gonna have to see how they use those. Don't want to blow those too early, but I mean, you got to use them or lose them.
Yeah, most definitely. It'll be interesting to see. Definitely gives them a little more confidence going into any sort of early team fights, though.
Oh yeah, they can throw down the gauntlet anytime they please, or prevent the gauntlet from landing. More importantly,
worth noting that Twisted Fate's already taken a lot of damage in the mid lane. Xerath is not messing around.
Ooh, incredibly well read.
Yeah. Yeah, Xerath's predicting him really well. We did see Xerath also being a big bully to the Veigar in Game 1, so just more of the same. And hopefully Twisted manages to figure out how to deal with that, or else he's going to have a really rough time in lane for the whole game.
Well, Huge and his jungler were able to allow Xerath to push in, and when he pushed in, that's when the gank started pouring out. So Truffle, definitely, I hope he manages his vision a little bit better this game.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Currently, he doesn't have any vision, so Kayn might be able to do something. But Kayn also doesn't have as much CC potential as Sejuani did, so maybe he feels a little bit safer because of that as well. We will have to see.
We do hear a lot of laughing and taunting from this tilted bot lane. AoE and Alon Z are just going to have to play through it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Nice for them to have those binded laugh buttons just to remind everyone they're there. Lane's definitely getting pushed in really far by the Lucian and Morgana then. Kane's angling for some silliness here. Comes on in. Good stun there by the Xerath to avoid the stun that was going to go on him. Does take a lot of damage though.
Able to walk right away though. I think he realized his limits there.
Yeah, so just kind of made the lane a little bit more even. Twisted Fate and Xerath both around the same amount of health. Kane's rotating.
We do see action in the bot lane.
Yeah, might be able to get the Morgana here. She blows the flash for it, but it's not worth it. And the Lucian, fortunately, does manage to flash out. Avoid being second blood, but the Kayn gets the quick first, which of course is good for the Kayn because now he's one step closer to being able to evolve earlier.
Oh yeah. Major investment by both teams in that engagement, but big payoff for Take the Lantern. Not Take the Lantern, Lord have mercy. Yeah,
Yes,
Take the Lantern.
Take the Lantern. You were right the first time.
Huge investment by Sigtal Lord trying to figure this game out, but he fails.
And the both flashes were blown by Brew City's bot lane as well in that fight, so Lucian's going to be at even a bigger disadvantage as the game progresses for the next few minutes. Hopefully doesn't do anything too exciting, though Zac looks like he's coming in for some fun time.
Oh,
Yep,
starts
here he goes.
the Q. And, double
big
knockup.
Yeah, great knockup. They
Woo!
just secured that down. That's the cleanest gank you're going to see all night, folks. That was the best
Just
case
like-
scenario.
Just like the Prophet Sig called before the game even started, if you get caught by this Bruce City Brawler lineup, you're going to get evaporated, and that's just what happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of evaporation that could go around in this game. I'm waiting for the Twisted Fate to start picking people off. He is actually up in farm now in the mid lane, so that's rather impressive. Probably keeping the Xerath honest with a few more of those card throws. And top lane has been mostly a gentleman's game, as it is. Got to get lucky. He's taking a little bit of damage there on the Mals, but is staying alive, staying smart, not in any trouble getting ganked right now.
Yeah, and with this Season 1 mid lane matchup happening in the top lane, I think it's going to be this the whole time until we see the junglers move in.
Yeah, we'll have to see. There was an exchange in the mid lane. Twisted Fate came out much the worse for it. Is now at about 1/5 health, and Xerath's looking to go in on him. Flash is burned. Whew. Really close there. Xerath may have wanted to pop that a little bit further, but probably wasn't expecting TF to be that far down.
Ooh, Kayn investing heavy.
Yeah, Kayn really going in there as well. Zac may make him pay for it though. Cuts him off, but of course the little dash there that Kayn has helps him get away and gets that little CS too. Just shows he doesn't care that much. He's fine.
Yeah, and when Zac missed that Q, top lane, Kennen ultimate going down. He does land the stun onto Xerath and he flashes out, but the burn damage is done. He walks out alive. Got to get lucky with less than 50 health.
Yep, got out with about 28 health, give or take. Worth noting there, which maybe people didn't know, that Kennen's ult still goes even though Malzahar's got him suppressed. So that could come into play later. We were talking about prioritizing characters. If the Malzahar continues to focus the Kennen even after the ult is up, it's likely that Kennen could still have a major impact on the fights.
Oh, yeah. I think you're going to have to see some QSS being picked up on both teams. But you got to be careful playing into a Malzahar because of that passive.
Yeah, most definitely. And I mean, it just really brings down, you know, how Brew is going to handle that, or not Brew, Take the Lantern is going to handle that Kennen as the fights go on, and we'll just need to see once team fights actually start. Still very passive, equal game, despite the 1 kill advantage. We got some CS advantages going to Take the Lantern. Kayn sneaking in here. They're actually going to commit to it.
Heavy investment.
Oh, there's
we do
that
see
stopwatch.
Oh,
Excellent use of the stopwatch.
hammer time.
And a little bit of a poke to just remind Kayn whose lane it is. Alright, so the stopwatch definitely there paying off for the Xerath.
Uh-oh, Kane keeping up that same track. It looks like he is going to push down into the bot lane. I don't know if this is best time, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, TF is here, gets the stun, but he's really low health. Fortunately, that heal is there. Everyone's really low. This is just strength in numbers right there. And I think it was also part of the reason why Brew got picked off there. They were trying to decide if they had enough damage to take on 4 characters. We've discovered the answer is no, but now they know that too.
They do, but it's worth also pointing out that between the 4 of them, that was a major investment to get that 1 kill. So it's going to be difficult getting those picks with the comp they have.
Yeah, definitely a big investment, and of course, Xerath is taking advantage of it, pushing his lane, getting a little more CS, finally getting the edge back over the TF, though the TF did get that assist. Looks like Zach's waiting. Nope. No gang for Zach today.
Oh, suppression right under tower. Interesting call in the top lane as Malzahar tried to suppress Kennen under Kennen's tower.
Yeah, maybe not the best use of all, but it looks like Gotta Get Lucky's planning on going home soon anyway. So may just be trying to get a little extra bit of damage to make Kennen respect the lane, maybe fear the Kane ults while Malz goes back. At least it'd be my guess.
Hey, that's right. Ultimates, use them or lose them.
Yep, there he goes, head back. Alright, so definitely a lot of good exchanges here. We're seeing the rotations coming out of Take the Lantern just like in the previous game. Seeing the Xerath be very, very efficient while also being a target, just like in the previous game. And so it's all kind of matching out the way we'd expect so far. And once again, the team fights, once they start rolling out, are going to be really what shows which team's going to come out on top here.
Most definitely.
Looks like Mal's just now going back. Decided to stick around for the wave. But he decided his items weren't quite where he wanted them to be.
I mean, you gotta be dressed for success. That's how this works.
Xerath might be able to try to ult that TF again. Doesn't seem like he's planning on it though. Oh, Rift Herald taken out.
Easy Rift Herald going to Kane and the team Take the Lantern.
Yeah, good job there. So we'll see where they choose to utilize this. Zach is once again kind of hanging out, hoping for a push-up, but Lucian and Morgana are just too good at maintaining the lane presence for that to happen, I think. Oh, no, he's going for it.
He's investing. Not far enough. Let's see if he can land the Q. 1, 2, is able to pull forward.
Morgana's going to get picked off here. Ooh, flash burned, though, by the Draven, so that's at least something.
Early Christmas present.
TF is really going in a little deep there. I don't know what he was thinking there. Maybe
As a 1-for-1.
Yeah, that was... TF's been doing some interesting ults there. I mean, obviously the first one worked out for him, but this one really did not, especially with the Draven so low. Miscommunication there would be my guess.
Possibly, but it's very easy when you're playing someone like Twisted Fate. You land that gold card, and you feel like you've got the 20-year stun. You can get all the damage you want done, and sometimes it doesn't play out like that.
Kane's still farming up here, using that Eye of the Void passive for as long as he can have it. Probably going to end up having to use that little critter sooner rather than later. But once again, no lane really seems that weak at this point. Probably waiting for a big pick in the mid or top lane.
We'll just have to see what happens there.
Yeah, it's really relatively impressive how equal it is in the bot lane, though. If you just look at kills, deaths, and CS. So, and even gold. Let's check out the gold. Yeah, I mean, only about 100 gold separating all 4 characters down there in the bot lane.
Yeah, and you have the kills spread very evenly, with 1 for each ADC, 1 for each jungler, 1 for each support.
Oh, Morgana getting caught out here. That's unfortunate. Good root going down. Might be able to save him. Xerath here, too. Oh, saved himself from some damage there, but Draven manages to rotate up as well. That's unfortunate. Just a matter of hanging out in enemy territory a little too long.
Yeah. With Morgana, you always got to ride that line where you want to be in the front line to land the CC and that ultimate, but you don't want to get too far up because you're made of paper mache. You're going to evaporate when water hits you.
Looks like Lucian might be evaporating when water hits him too. Brahm's getting a really good angle on him. Zac is here though, and Zac lands a good knockup. They may be able to take this Braum out. Good dash there by Lucian as well. Mid lane, we had a little bit of excitement. Ooh, the Braum managed to get out.
Gosh, incredible support play on his part.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it didn't even. He wasn't even sweating, man. Just able to throw up that shield, jump back to Draven like it didn't even happen.
Right, just walking backwards there. But it is worth noting that Xerath did manage to pick off TF in the mid lane. So
you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So Brawler's got something out of it, but huge fight going on here. Yeah. Zac is in a lot of trouble with some low hit points there. Xerath teleports in. Big stun goes off on both the bot laners, but nope, no one dies. Very close fight though. Two or three characters, all very, very low.
Man, I'm telling you, less than 3 minutes, we're going to see those low health bars turn into death. So these teams need to make some decisions now. While we are in a lull, can we throw it over to gold totems?
Sure. We were at gold totems a little bit earlier, but we'll throw it up there again. There you are, gentlemen and ladies. And now we do see the Herald coming out in that mid lane due to the vacancy of Xerath doing the rotation. Now we'll switch back over to items again to see after some of these fights what kind of items everyone's cashed in on. Looks like they're going to get the turret and get out. Really good job there and awareness by Kayn and TF to pick off 2 kills and that turret.
And that was an incredible CC chain. Xerath did not get to do anything outside of blow the blast cone in response.
Yeah, and it also comes down to that warding because they were able to see that those 2 champions are moving through the river and were able to intercept them.
Yeah, incredible pick there.
All right, yeah. So a lot of points leaning heavily toward take the lantern for this game again, having once again been able to pick up this mid game, and they get a dragon out of it too, a cloud drake. So now they're able to engage a little bit better with those in those team fights, which will certainly help, especially to chase down cannons, wily cannons.
Well, gotta catch them all.
Most definitely. All right, so we'll see where the next stage of this game goes now that the Rift Herald is gone. Now we've got a couple of towers down, and just see who gets caught out of position, who makes a big push next. Looks like the lanes are relatively close to resetting back to the way they were. Of course, Take the Lantern does want turrets in the other lanes, particularly that bot lane turret, which is still up. But we'll see how it goes for them.
They're using that bot lane turret being up, as an incredible contention point to initiate these constant team fights. Very impressive play on their end.
It looks like the cannon was checking to see if he was getting snuck up on. Kayn is thinking about it. It is interesting that both of these junglers, both Zac and Kayn, have a way to initiate over walls really easily like that.
Yeah, and difficult to keep an eye on as well.
Speaking of keeping an eye on, here we go. Get the suppression down. That's probably it for the cannon, and it is.
And it was at the correct time, too, because if he would have ulted, we might have seen this turn into a 1-for-1. Incredible play by Gotta Get Lucky and Kayn.
Yeah, and there's more of what we were talking about, where if you're alone, you're probably getting taken out. Zac coming in on the TF, misses the knockup, does get the root in this pull. Tries to do the ults back toward his buddies rather than ulting in. A lot of good damage being put down there by...
Good disengage.
Yeah, good way to close that out. Looks as though Kayn went the Shadow Assassin route this time, so going to be a little more damage, a little less tank. Which, of course, is an interesting consideration considering how high the damage is already on both teams. But the thought probably is just blow them up a little bit faster, right?
That could be it. I personally would have went for a more bruiser build, give me a little bit more team survivability. But, hey, I'm not in that position. I don't know what's best.
Yeah, we'll have to see as everyone's kind of moving around, moving back, setting up again. Got Got TF and Braum in mid, facing off against the Lucian and the Morgana. Kayn might be coming around, though. Oh, Morgana's in a lot of trouble. Loses almost all of her health from that insane damage coming out of the Kayn right away. Xerath does his ult just to create a little bit of separation. Mal's is rotating down, though. This could be really bad for the Xerath, who's going to run right into him.
Able to walk away.
Yeah, looks like he's able to walk away, but there is a fight now going down in the mid lane as well. Kennen in a little bit of trouble there. Ult knocks up the Lucian, and Draven's going to get the Kennen, and Braum is going to get the Morgana, I believe. And Kayn gets the Lucian. Oh no, that was Zac.
And that was a big old 4 for naught.
Yeah, it really was.
In that global team fight, as we did see the Xerath go down earlier to the Malzahar.
Yeah, so really good plays there by Take the Lantern, really taking advantage of, like we said, you get caught and you're dead compositions that they were running. And, well, I would normally say here that, you know, Brawlers just needs to take a minute and reprioritize, but I don't know if they're going to get the chance with how quickly everyone gets blown up in these fights. But we will have to see. Obviously, the game isn't over yet. 7,000 gold lead here for Take the Lantern. 4 towers to 1. Baron's almost up, but they're not in a position to do it. So just rotating back, checking out the gold here. We do see sizable gold leads for everyone on Take the Lantern. Kennen kind of keep an eye there on the Kayn. That's a really dangerous position to be in because, as we saw earlier, Kayn can just take out about half of Kennen's health relatively easily. Especially since
go ahead.
Just gonna say because the Kayn's 7-0.
Yeah, he's probably going to be waddling to the next team fight if he gets any more fed. It's going to be difficult to deal with him. I'd made the call that he should have went Bruiser, but I don't think he's going to take your gruff regardless.
Yeah. Oh, looks like Mal's trying to bait this poor little Kennen. Is Kennen going to fall for it? Looks like he is. Stun. He's going to get suppressed. And that's probably a dead Kennen. Oh! The Twisted Fate is not as fed as he would like you to expect that he is. And neither is the Mouse for that matter. Both with only 1 kill between the two of them. And Kennen, though he did burn the flash, does manage to get out of there. And now Xerath's here to try to protect the turret.
This is a very interesting push on the side of Team Take the Lantern. It's a 2-2-1.
Yeah,
and
it's interesting. I'm wondering if they're in a perspective where they think they're far enough ahead that they can do this. I would think that they want to stick with their team fights, but we'll see if it works out for them.
Well, I think that's the logic behind it. And the thing that's important about this is Brew City really isn't lining up so that they can efficiently deal with this push.
Yeah, that's very true as well. They do seem rather scattered. Zach's,
but we do see them all collapsing.
Yeah, Zach's kind of rotating down there. Kennen is up top, and does not have teleport, it's worth noting, so he's not going to be able to help out in this fight. Looks like they're letting Kayn take the dragon solo. Well, no, Draven's coming back to help him. Zach's coming in, though. Misses his knockup again, also misses his grab, so Zach's in a lot of trouble here. Gets silenced, gets slowed, gets stunned, but of course, as a tank, he just walks out. Kayn going in. Oh, deletes.
Oh my gosh!
There
0 to 100.
Yeah, there is nothing stopping this Kayn at this point. This Kayn just looks at you and you are dead. And there's not much that the Brawlers can do about it.
I think they've reached a damage critical mass where there's not much that could be done if you're engaged upon, because that's 2 quadra kills in a row. Well, two 4 for nothings in a row.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm not quite sure how they would be able to shut this Kayn down. Of course, Kayn does have a lot of survivability in terms of escape mechanisms. He can run through walls. He can teleport inside of you. and he can just fall back with the assistance of his team members that have those stuns.
I guess I can understand if you're looking to clear the wave. I don't know if I agree with that Xerath ult, but oh wow, right into the heap of it. Pulls
He brings
them
them back. I don't know if they wanted this. There's only 3 people here against 4, and a teleport's coming in as well. Yeah, I mean, Zach, big props to him for trying to make something happen. The problem is there isn't really anything that can happen when your team's out of position like that.
It was an incredible Q. It was an incredible ultimate on behalf of Zach, but you really just brought the team fight back you didn't want to happen.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate that that is what happened. If maybe he grabbed 1 or 2 champions, and there's Kane almost actually getting taken out. So that could be a sign of hope there for the Brawlers if this fight goes on, because they were able to almost take him down if Draven hadn't assisted.
Yeah, it is worth pointing out though that that team fight lasted less than 2 seconds because Morgana used her ultimate. It takes 3 seconds for it to proc, and that didn't go off.
And now we're seeing that Take the Lantern doesn't even need Kane there. Draven has now climbed the mountain as well, having basically gone 7-0 as well throughout the course of this game, having just died early.
Yeah, they're just. This is a slow walk towards victory. I'm excited to see if Brew City Brawlers are able to climb out of this.
And we'll see if they do. Nice attempt by the Zac to try to get that Mal's. Bounces the Braum back into the fight. I'm not sure if that's what they wanted, though. We'll have to see. They do get a pick on that Draven. Might get the Braum, too. Where is Kane? Kane is actually just farming randomly in the top lane.
That could be their path to victory.
Xerath ult blown with no one really in range. So that's unfortunate. Lucian seems to really want to chase this. That may not be the best idea. And it is not. They might get the Mouse. They might get the Mouse, though.
That might get Braum as well.
Braum gets a stun off. Oh, nice. Kane is not coming to clean up.
The Lucian changed targets to that Braum in the middle of that skirmish right there. Okay, wow, a LCUS first. We do see the first surrender come across.
Ooh, all right. Not willing to fight it out, I guess.
That does put us at a take the lantern 2-0 sweep of the Brew City Brawlers.
Yeah, congratulations there for the for Take the Lantern. Great job there. Great execution overall. Really good to see them work that out. I'll get an updated overlay here in a second. And we will see if we can get an interview in here and see if we're able to get some insight into, I believe, how Take the Lantern was able to secure that victory. But before we hear from them, what are your thoughts on how it worked out?
I think we did an incredible job of calling this very early on, where if they weren't able to control the amount of damage that was being dealt by this essential 4-carry team featuring Braum, that it would get way out of control. And that's exactly what happened. They had incredible team fight potential, but never really team fought. So I don't know how much a sub played into this, because the Kennen was in the top lane during that last engagement without TP. So we don't know the full story, but it was because the comp that they picked.
Yeah, the comp did definitely play a huge part in it. And I'm excited to see how that goes. It looks as though we'll be getting
Tilted Psyduck.
Tilted Psyduck, excellent, as our interviewee. So we'll be moving into that in a second. Is he in the viewers?
He is.
All right, let's hop over there. Hey, Psyduck, how's it going?
Hey man, it's going pretty good. How are you?
Doing all right. Congratulations. Glad to see those games worked out for you pretty well.
Worked out. That was a home run. That was incredible.
I mean, I got pretty strong, but like the team worked pretty good together, and honestly, like our jungler was 12-0, so it's like, oh, right on.
Yeah, that Kane pick definitely helped you out.
Yeah, he's a pretty nasty got a pretty nasty cane. Last game I think we went more tanks crowd control. Yeah, we had like Leonis Edge and other hard CCs, but this time we were like, let's just go damage.
And it paid off for you.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
When you were going into this bot lane, one,
Yeah.
congratulations on the Christmas synergy. That's definitely
Oh,
probably
dude,
played into
yeah.
the win here. And two, what was your mindset going into these team fights? Because if you look at the comp you were facing in game two, there were some major threats there. How did you deal with that?
Well, so honestly, I have a lot of faith that Braum can keep me alive. And as far as like the Morgana Lucian matchup goes, not too scared of the Morgana pick just because I mean I'm pretty quick, does a lot of damage, and I can usually avoid it, the snare. Plus the Braum. I mean, honestly, the Braum kind of won the lane for me just because she can block so much, just like face tank for me. And
man. So humble, so humble.
Yeah, we definitely
Hey, man.
noticed that Braum doing a lot of work for you, and of course the Leona in game one was doing some great engages as well.
Oh yeah, man. Like everybody sees the damage on the ADC, but that's where it's at. The all the crowd control and setups that the supports make. So, and the other team, of course. Although I mean, I am a support main, but so I'm also a little biased.
The truth comes out. We were thinking that it was all just just being humble here, but no, he's just
all
batting
just-
for his real team.
It's just all. It's all him. That's so funny.
Not
Yeah,
used
man.
to not used to carrying, but you did it incredibly well, and we're
Oh,
very
thanks, man.
thankful for you joining us in chat today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
definitely. Good luck on your future games, and hope you
Hey,
stick around
thanks,
for the
man.
rest. All right.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, talk to you later. All right, so we'll be very quickly moving on to our next set of games here. They're actually getting set up right now, but we're just going to hop into a quick break, and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.